5 routers and the best feature of each router. Now this is something you don't get a chance to do very often, but these routers are all current models on the market today. Usually you're familiar with 1 or 2 routers and you either like them or you don't, and maybe any past comparison is based on an outdated router that they don't make anymore. So let's look at each of these 5 routers and pick just the one feature that stands out above all else. I did a comprehensive router review for Popular Woodworking magazine, and that's why I had the chance to get all these routers into one shop at the same time. So I'll put issue information in the description box if you want to pull that article. There you'll find so many details. I mean, there's charts and tables. Every imaginable spec will be available for you in that Popular Woodworking article. This is the Bosch MRC-23, and it's somewhat conservatively rated at 2.3 horsepower. It's got a 15 amp motor, and it comes as a combo kit. So we're going to look at the fixed base today and decide what is the best feature on this router. It's got a number of things going for it, but I would have to say that the triggers in the handle have got to be the best feature on this router. It's made possible by a low voltage track system that connects the bases with the motor. Now that's true whether you're running the fixed base or the plunge base that comes in the combo kit. The track uses a 5-volt signal, and basically the motor won't turn on unless it's connected to the base. But that's a nice safety feature to have the triggers right in the handle. Plus you can lock that trigger in the on position for longer cuts. The DeWalt 618 is another popular combo kit. It's got a 2.25 horsepower motor rated at 12 amps, and we'll look at the plunge base today. It's got some great features. The turret depth adjustment stop is one of my favorite on this model, but I guess the number one feature I'd have to say is the through the column dust collection. That's a carryover from the old Elu routers, and DeWalt bought and used a lot of the best features from those designs on their current fleet of routers. And just hook a dust collection hose to the top, and because it's integrated into the router, it really just encourages you to use that dust collection every time you can. That plunge action is really nice too. The Metabo 36-volt router was the first cordless mid-sized router on the market, and so that's the obvious claim to fame there, that you're battery operated and you don't have to be tethered to a power cord. Some of the other features it has are the trigger in the handle. Of course, that's not too unusual with a standalone plunge router. This one doesn't have the fixed base option. You can lock that trigger on too, which is really nice. But I'd have to say the one feature of this 36-volt router that I was most impressed with is the light and smooth plunge action. It's that feature that kept me reaching for this router time and time again. The Triton MOF001 is a 2.25 horsepower router rated at 13 amps. It's got some interesting features because it's not really a combo kit. Instead, it's a dual mode router. In this one router package, you get both fixed base and plunge router capabilities. There's a button in the handle that you can push to change it over from fixed base to plunge mode. And I've got to say the most interesting feature on this router is the automatic collet lock. Just raise the collet up to full height and slightly rotate the spindle and the collet will automatically lock. That makes it really easy to change bits even if you're in handheld operation, but especially if you're mounted in a router table. This is the Milwaukee M18 cordless router, and it's rated as 2¼ horsepower with an 18-volt battery. This is another entry into the cordless mid-size router category, and other manufacturers are sure to follow. There's a number of great features like the switch location and the dual LED lights, but I've got to say my favorite feature is the fact that they decided to continue with this body grip design from their corded router. It's got this rubber overmolded design that surrounds the body or the case of the router, plus a nice Velcro strap. That, combined with gripping one of the rubber pommels, gives you really good control for edge profiling. All right guys, thanks for sticking around. If you're interested in that popular woodworking router review, just drop down to the description box for the issue information there. Also, if you're interested in more great router topics, consider subscribing to the Thoughtful Woodworker channel. Now, I wonder how he did that lazy Susan bit. All right, maybe power tools aren't always the answer.